can fly, go.
Welcome to 24K Gaming Reviews, movie reviews, TV show reviews. This is our year-end review, 2022. So first, we're going to start off with, and I can't stress this enough, video game movies. I've never done a video on video game movies. I am an avid gamer. For those of you who know me, I am the Game Ninja, aka the Red Shogun. I'm also the authorizer and owner of Team Red Shell Racing. So it's been coming apparently clear. I thought maybe in the 80s people would get it, but gaming was new, so there was an excuse for a disconnect between the gaming fan base and the movie industry. So I get that. Then in the 90s, there was really no excuse. You had the source material, it was written for you, it was there, and then I don't know. In the 2000s, I'm like, okay, so now the people who were kids are now adults and they're in these industries, so they get us, the gamer, so let's make some gaming movies. And then we had movies like I digress. Anyways, I was hoping for a better allotment of gaming movies, and it just didn't happen. So fast forward to the 2010s, 2020s. Now we're going to go into 2023, and I am scared. What is the problem? You guys have your source material written for you. I mean, comic books, games, storylines. Can you tell me how you can't just follow verbatim the storyline in the game that made the game such a success, which is why you're making the movie, because you want the movie to be a success and you want money? I don't get it. If you want money and you want to make money, then you blame people. It's simple. Hire a gamer. Consult a fan base, just like how you guys have consultants on everything that you do. You do a martial arts movie, you hire a martial arts consultant, somebody who knows it. You want to do police and firefighter movies, you hire a consultant, somebody who's a police officer or a firefighter. And then you have these great epics. When it comes to gaming, why are you minimalizing it so much that you just get somebody who flips through 3 pages and they're just like, I got the gist of it, or this is my interpretation, or this is my reimagining of it? We don't need your damn reimagining. We don't need your damn vision of it. It's there. The vision is there. It's split. A, B, C, D. The reason why these games are such a success is because of the storyline and aspects in them. How hard is that to get? And you as a director, producer, cinematographer, what the hell is going on with you? I don't get it. You can look at it. It's not like you have nothing to draw from. It's right there. But I digress. So as most of you know, they have The Last of Us coming out as a TV series, and I'm nervous because it's a wonderful game, a great storyline, and the fact that you didn't make it a movie makes me feel a little bit better, because there's so much story and meat and source material. If you compacted it into a movie, it would be 4 or 5 hours long. So I'm glad you didn't do that. I'm glad you're going to do a series. The fact that HBO is in it and helps me believe in it a little bit more. I'm sorry, AMC, you had a great idea when it came to The Walking Dead, but explain to me, how do you take such a great idea, cash cow and universe, and literally turn it into a fucking 7-season... Oh, don't get me started. That is clearly for another review. Not doing that here. I followed you to the end, and now you got spinoff after spinoff after spinoff, and I could puke coat hangers It doesn't make sense for you to have 7 spin-offs if all of them are complete dog shit. But you don't get it. It's about money. I'm done. Anyway, Last of Us, and there's some other gaming ventures that they have, and I'm sorry, I don't believe in you anymore. I'll stick to just the games. The games is where we have the story. We're a part of the story because we're playing it. We're invested in the story because we're playing it. And you guys can go ahead and bastardize anything else that you want. But I'm done with you. I'm done. You've had 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. Here we are. You're talking about almost 40 years for you not to be able to get it once. The closest I've seen to a video game movie adaptation that was kind of in the realm of it, I will say Doom, though The Rock was a horrible choice. Resident Evil 1, and that was you guys still skirted along the edge, and then you just went into left field. Silent Hill 1 had potential. Like I said, all of you guys could literally have just benefited from playing the game, talking to a gamer, listening to the people talk about it, but you don't. You just crank the shit out and it becomes a sausage of nastiness, and I'm sorry. So when it comes to this year in review, we are going to review the best ish of video game to movie translations, TV show translations. Sorry. And some of them you may have seen, some of them you didn't know about, and some of them I will give you my thoughts as a gamer. Not as just a consumer, but as a gamer. Because there's some of them that had potential and a lot of people didn't get it. Case in point, right as recently, that Resident Evil series on Netflix with my boy from The Wire as Wesker and the whole Blade thing. Look, I digress. I'm not going to attack it because technically I liked it. And then people was like, I don't get it. Why are there so many black people in Resident Evil? I'm like, did you play the Resident Evil series? I'm pretty sure one episode was dedicated to an African warlord when you played it, and pretty much Wesker died and he was cloned, and one of the clones, Africa clones, Wesker died, people of color. All I'm going to say, people, is play the damn series. You can even play the remasters because some of them are available now. Play the damn series. The story made 100% sense if you're a gamer. But of course, everybody compares that to the Mila Jovovich Resident Evil, and they're just like, I'm not feeling it. I don't know why there's so many black people. Look, race aside, the story wasn't that bad, and I was looking forward to seeing where they were going to go with it. But of course, it's one of the things that got canceled in this world. And I got news for you. If you, I'm gonna say this, and you can take offense to it. As you can see, Assassin's Creed. You can take offense to it or not, but you don't have to be on this channel and you don't have to watch this video. I am gamers, by gamers, for gamers. If you ain't a gamer, then get the hell off the book, get the hell off the page, because obviously you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. We deal with games. Gamer and gaming. I don't care if you play the game, if you're next to somebody watching the game, because there is a whole community of people that like to watch because they can't play the games because of nerves and issues and everything else. I get it. I was a side gamer for many days. For many years, I was a side gamer. There was some games that I was just like, yo, this shit is crazy. Ain't no way in hell I would jump in and play this. I feel joy watching you play, playing vicariously through you. That is the beautiful spirit of a gamer. You don't have to partake in the game to be of the game. You don't have to play the game. You can just be somebody on the side watching. Player 2, player 3, player 4. The enjoyment of the gaming aspect is split, multifaceted, all across different people. But what I'm talking about is I'm talking about the Dragon Ball Z movie. That horrendous piece of shit. What I'm talking about is that Mario Brothers movie. that horrendous piece of shit. What I'm talking about is that Double Dragon movie, that horrendous piece of shit. What I'm talking about is that Mortal Kombat movie. Old, still was better than all the modern technology and monies you had for that new horrendous piece of shit. Creating a character that is not in the game so that you don't have to take ownership and responsibility for the failure of the movie based on the hands of Scorpion's descendant. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit line. I watched that movie, and you know what? The Sub-Zero and Scorpion idea of that story was the most compelling in it, and I was invested in there. So you can take the rest of that shit and you can turn around and stuff it straight up your candy ass, because as a gamer, that shit was a horrendous piece of shit. So I'm sorry, this is the part of the video where I'm just going to tell you horrendous piece of shit, and we going to fire rapid fire these horrendous pieces of shit, because I can't take the shit anymore. So I've given up. I've washed my hands and I've given up. We have the games. The games will suffice when it comes to story, content, fun factor, because we just can't trust you with this content anymore. We can't. And I, for one, am done. I'm not giving you any more chances. I'm not giving you more any choices. Whatever endeavors you make in the future, that is on you. Whatever people choose to support with their dollars, that is on you. But I don't want to hear people talking about, oh, this was shit and this was that shit and this was that shit. The chemical combination is very simple. Game, source material, fan base, story, from the game, movie. So, welcome to my 2022, sorry for that rant, year in review. And we're not doing just the 2020s, we're not doing just the 2010s, we're not just doing the 90s or the 80s, we're doing that entire genre. And like I said, some of these you will know, some of these you won't. We're not going to talk about all of them in detail, we're just going to give them grades, and we're going to cut out the worst of the worst and do mediocre and some that tried to give that idea. Because there was a Resident Evil movie that came out last year during Thanksgiving, and so many people hated it, and I get it, justly. I hated the Leon Kennedy, I hated who you guys chose for the characters, but I get it. You went ahead and you tried though. But as the storyline goes, I had just played the remake, and playing the remake when I watched that movie, you guys were fucking spot on. I mean, literally, that if I paused my TV screen and I went to the game, verbatim, you guys paid attention. And that shit was genius. But it didn't come over because of the other aspects that you took liberty with. What I'm saying is, it's very simple. Watch the game. Talk to fans. Talk to gamers. Get the story down pat. I don't give a fuck what you do character-wise and who you choose to play these characters. They could be the most unlike looking at those characters. If you hit that story spot on, you will see pay dirt, period. And that Resident Evil was one of the closest adaptations, and I liked it better than that Mila Jovovich bullshit. I really did. It was one of the closest, so much to the point where even the red diamond key and the emerald key and things like that in the orphanage, I had literally just played that in the remake, and now I'm seeing it in the movie. And that was done as fan service, because if you weren't a fan of the game, you didn't get that in the movie. And that, my hat off to you. I humbly bow to you for that. That was a great idea. You guys had a moment of inspiration, and you didn't seek it. The zombies, the Wesker setup, the Ada Wong setup, you had it. You really had it. The whole garage, you had it. I would just like to know what happened between those moments of you getting it to the finished product. Was it a cut? Were you forced to make cuts? Is there a director's cut somewhere out there? How much content did you take out of it? Because you guys were out of all the movies that I've seen in the recent years, you guys were on level. and I felt it. I felt that shit, and it was amazing. And not too many movies or TV series fucking hit it, and you guys did. But I wonder, was it the people above you, on level with you, or the just literal politics around that universe that had you contain it? Because you shouldn't have contained it. You should have let that shit go. Where you were going with it was 100%. And I was on board and invested. I'll tell you how much I liked it. I liked that Resident Evil so much that the fact that you made Leon Kennedy how can I say this without being too critical? The casting choice. I didn't love it, but I was willing to overlook it because of the substance and the storyline that you put in there. Hell, even the whole twins pulling the wings off the butterfly, the Code Veronica aspect, the Resident Evil Story 1 in the mansion, the Resident Evil Story 2 with the Raccoon City PD. You guys were hitting it literally. And then somewhere in there, anyways, I wanted to give the proper respects to that franchise, that one franchise, because like I said, Resident Evil 1, the movie with Mila Jovovich, wasn't that bad. It's just you guys took too much liberty and tried to make it into cashing in on the whole zombie craze, which I'm not knocking you for. That was a great idea to do that, but on the same token, you guys were a little bit over rambunctious on the whole what made that game a success. You went too far into what you thought your vision of it was instead of giving us the vision of the game. You guys could have started a universe that would have still been spanning movies now if you had done it correctly. But no, it's always spectacle. Bigger, better, bigger explosions, more. Like, no. So, let's get on with the show. So, number 1, first pickup. We're going to start with that old deluxe fan favorite, Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers. Now, I know in retrospect they have a new movie coming out, but this movie, I have no words. What in the blue hell were you thinking? I mean, I'm not going to go into too much detail with it. I'm just going to say, as a gamer, this was one of the most disappointing moments in my life, seeing a game turn into reality. So, that's at the very least. Now, on to the next one. Ninja Turtles. Now, Ninja Turtles, the gaming and comic book aspect, was a wonderment into a universe that literally opened up a world of fascination. And I will give credit where credit is due. The 1989 Ninja Turtles movie. Bravo. Still one of my favorites. Still one of the best. Though not perfect, it was damn close. And I love the grittiness and the fact that you didn't go childish with it. You went actual adult, and that made that movie stand out. Now, I know because of the violence and everything else, when the second movie became more animated and cartoonish, and I was still willing to go with you on that because it has certain aspects that were of the universe, and I'll still give you a pass on that one. Though nowhere near the 1989 one, Secret of the Ooze, was still watchable. We're not going to talk about Turtles in Time or them horrendous reproductions that came along later, because once again, somebody read it, somebody said, I have an idea, this is my vision, and let's do it. I don't give a damn about actors or actresses in your movie. You guys literally took something that was there in front of you verbatim, and you screwed it again. And this is what I'm talking about. This is how it went on a consistent basis, that somebody got on board a project and, oh yeah, I know that. Are you a gamer? No, but I read a couple pages of it, and I'm pretty good. I know what I'm doing. This is my vision. You're going to see, they're going to love it. We're going to throw this in the toilet and see if it floats. Flush, didn't float. None of the sequels did. And first of all, here's the thing, guys. They're brothers. They're not different turtles. They're not a painter turtle, a snapping turtle, and different things. They were brothers. They were all of the same. And the reason why the colors was there, because they were painter turtles and they had different colors. And you guys just, I'm not going to go there. Just done. So no. Another one, Dragon Ball Evolution. No. This is what's wrong with all these conversions. From A to B to C. If you can't nail the main character, Goku, and no disrespect to the actor, what the fuck were you thinking? Period. What were you thinking? On to the next. Okay, so I don't know if I want to do Double Dragon. I really don't. You know what? I don't want this video to be too long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this one with Double Dragon. Mark Dacascos, an amazing martial artist, and my boy from Blood In, Blood Out, my boy from American Me, my boy who's been in so many martial arts movies, but he's still underlooked, my boy who has played Drew Carson in Shaolin of the Orient. He's been in so many different things, so you would figure if you have such a great talented martial arts cast, you in a martial arts movie, it would write itself, but unfortunately that's not what happened. We ended up with, wow, I mean, if you have time for cheese, you can watch it on the cheese aspect of it. And I mean, the characters looked like the characters. There was some martial arts in it. Billy and Jimmy were in it. They had the colors correct. But like I said, just pay attention to the details. Play one level of the game. Here's a bright idea. Talk to a gamer. Get a consultant. I don't care if it's $100 or $200. You got the budget. Give them $100. Talk to a real fan of the series. Talk to the makers of the series. Talk to the people involved. And we won't have things like Double Dragon. Anyways, I'm going to end this video here because I don't want to hold you hostage too long. But I'm just going to say enough is enough. I know you guys are starving in Hollywood for material. You're falling out of comic books now because you've done everything to death, and now you're thinking gaming is the last aspect, which it can be, and there are some amazing stories out there. Here's an idea that nobody ever thought of. Make a Life is Strange real life movie. Anyways, this is 24K gaming movie reviews and TV reviews. And this is the year in review, and we are doing gaming to real life movies, and the train is rolling. So I'll check you guys on the next video, and let's see if we can keep this train rolling.